Hi there. In this video, we will learn what is minutes of meeting, and some of the highlights we will cover in this video are importance of minutes of meeting, documentation of discussion points, minutes of meeting templates, minutes of meeting fixed issue, and video and audio minutes of meeting. So let's get it started. Importance of minutes of meeting. So the first point is, if minutes of meeting are not captured, then it become he said or she said. So in many cases, when we conduct meeting and minutes of meeting are not documented, and so what happen is, after meeting, maybe somebody will have some misunderstanding or misconception that maybe this is the understanding that this is the responsibility of other person or not. So then it's become like a talking point that so nobody can be accountable, can be whole accountable about the task. So that is very important point to have minutes of meeting. If we don't, then it's become we lose the that who is responsible of the task. So documentation is always help all participants. So if somebody is missing some point, then somebody can from the meeting, for example, if 3 or 4 people are in participant, and if one person might miss any point, they can later on add this to the minutes of meeting and get a feedback on the minutes of meeting that I forgot to add this, or that's how it's supposed to be, that's what I said, or stuff like that. So that can be added, and that can be help a lot of processes and discussion point. So it also capture participant, date, action item, task, and decision. So many times if we discuss in the meeting and it's not documented, then these things are lost. So date is very important, that when this meeting took place, so that is a record. Action item, that who's responsible of what tasks are pending, that we capture in this meeting. Discussions, so what discussions point we are discussing in this meeting, agenda, and so that is a very good helpful points that minutes of meeting can capture. So good for process and project tasks. So in many project documentation, we need some content that what we are, for example, if we are capturing requirements, so business software requirements. So if we have minutes of meeting of discussion and requirement gathering, that minutes of meeting can be used toward this document and can be helpful toward the other documentation, can be used from the minutes of meeting. So that is very essential if we have minutes of meeting. So let's get to the next point. Documentation is a discussion point. So for example, if we do not document, then it's become like a memory, that if we remember this what we discussed or not. So that is very important to document. So action item, for example, so action item is also very helpful. For example, the 4 participant, one participant is responsible for task 1, other participant is responsible for task 2. So that is accountability can be achieved through that. And when this document is available, if maybe there's 4 tasks, so maybe this can help the person who's responsible for the task, that they have their a list of items that they need to do. So so minutes of meeting available after the meeting. So this document is available, and there's a discussion points are captured in there, highlights are added, and agenda of the meeting. So from that can be very beneficial, that somebody can join this documentation later on, take a look at this, review this document, and they can see that what this purpose of this meeting was took place, and what discussion points were discussed in this meeting. So let's get to the next slide. Minutes of meeting, fix issues. So in meetings, people might misunderstand or miss a part of the conversation. So maybe somebody joined late, or they might not understand some of these things. But if when this minutes of meeting is captured, that might will help the the participants that what is discussed, and who's responsible for what task, or what is the process of complete process that we are discussing in these minutes. So that can be very helpful. So minutes of meeting will help with issue with notes are captured. So when there is a notes are captured, for example, that then discussion points are written down in the document, that is very helpful. For example, action item and different points. So that is there. So let's get to the next slide. Video and audio minutes of meeting. So in many minutes of meeting are now these days are captured as a audio or video format, or the so that is very helpful and very useful. But documentation is always better to document, because in a video, if we are discussing maybe 30 minutes meeting, 15 minutes meeting, or 1 hour long meetings, after the meeting, that is very hard. It's very hard for somebody else to go take a look at the complete video and understand action item. If it is documented on the piece of document and electronic file, then somebody can see that what are the action items and what was discussed, what bullet points were added to this minutes of meeting, and who was a participant. So that is very helpful if we document instead of video and audio format is very good, but documentation is always better because it's faster to read, and somebody can skim through the document and take a look at it. So that is very useful. So thank you for watching this video. Please add some comments, and if I miss anything, please add what is your perspective on this minutes of meetings. And thank you very much.